Hey everyone, Xilirith here. Welcome to my Self-Ignite, Giant's Blood, Shrine Buff, Infernalist build. This build has a lot going on with different synergies between items and nodes. The main concept of the build is that all your damage is primarily dealt by this unique charm, Beira's Anguish, where when you become ignited, all enemies within your presence, so all monsters within that green circle of this character's presence, become ignited, dealing 500% of my maximum life as damage. That fire damage is then converted to chaos damage through Black Flame. The unique Xesht has the modifier charms use no charges. Therefore, the unique charm always has charges to be cast. That means when you do a critical hit through Grinning Immolation with Eye of Winter, you will then ignite all enemies within your presence. This unique belt, the only useful modifiers on this belt are Dexterity, Charm Slots, Mana, and the Reduced Charm effect duration. There is a cooldown to using charms, so they're not always instant. You'll see it during gameplay of this little bar across the bottom will be lit up, and it decreases over time. It usually goes between 1 second to 3 seconds depending on the charm. There is a noticeable difference with the reduced charm effect duration. If you want more fluid gameplay, you definitely need to get the belt with a higher percentage of reduced charm effect duration. The other cool thing is that this build is using Giant's Blood to equip Hammer of the Faith in one of the weapon slots, along with a scepter. So this two-handed mace is really cool because it grants your character a random shrine buff every 10 seconds. And the other useful stats are all elemental resistances, which this character really needs, and increased mana regeneration, which synergizes with Mind over Mana, etc. To equip this mace, you do need a lot of stats. So I currently have 280 strength, 160 intelligence, and 89 dexterity on this character. So I converted some of the requirements to dexterity and intelligence to equip the two-handed mace, because without it, it only requires 88 strength if it's in a one-handed, if it's taking both weapon slots as a two-handed weapon. However, when you use Giant's Blood, it triples, so the triple requirement to equip it. You can't use it by itself, unfortunately. This build doesn't really work by itself. You do need an Omen Scepter. The reason why you need an Omen Scepter is because it grants Malice, which grants critical weakness as an aura. This is crucial for the build to work if you want to deal plenty of damage. Without an Omen Scepter, the build is just not fun. You primarily just want to get Spirit on it, mana regeneration, and a high percentage increase on presence area of effect to boost your AoE of your ignites as far as they can go. So Eye of Winter is the skill that is used to trigger the unique charm. It's supported with Ambush, Pinpoint Critical, Acceleration, and Arcane Tempo. You only need a level 13. It's not doing any damage. So you only need a level 13, which is the minimum requirement to get it. Withering Presence is used with Persistence and Chaos Mastery. Blasphemy turns curses into auras, so we're using Despair and Temporal Chains. Time of Need is used with Fast Forward. Elemental Conflux is used for more damage. Cold Mastery, Lightning Mastery, and Fire Mastery. Mana Remnants, super useful for Mind over Mana, so mitigating damage and also just ensuring that you always have mana. That's supported with Magnetism and Precision. You could also use Wind Dancer if you have the two-handed mace. Wind Dancer only uses, it only has a requirement for martial weapons, so it does not work with a wand. My previous weapon was a wand, and Wind Dancer was not working with it. You can also use Ghost Dance. I currently don't have enough spirit to use Ghost Dance and Wind Dancer as well. The character does have 170, it does have 327 spirit on the character, which is pretty high. Most of that is coming from the Infernalist Ascendancy node right here, where you get 1 maximum spirit per 25 maximum life, and it's coming from the scepter as well. So these are equivalent to an Alpha's Howl. You don't really need an Alpha's Howl for this build. I think Alpha's Howl is kind of overkill, and you lose out on vital defense stats that this character will definitely need. High life, resistances, energy shield, etc. My amulet is instilled with barbaric strength, which is 45% increased critical damage bonus plus 10 to strength. The previous amulet I had was using preemptive strike, 100% increased critical damage bonus against enemies that are on full life. It worked. However, when I got this two-handed mace, I needed a lot more stats, and then I ended up finding barbaric strength, which was actually more affordable and even better than preemptive strike. I have tried Rondel of Fragility. It's good for leveling, but it doesn't really scale with the damage of the build, even though it has Jack of all trades and a very high percentage increase of increased damage and increased skill speed. I would definitely say critical damage bonus scales damage most with the build, including life. Another thing to mention is when using an Omen Scepter, make sure that you see the red aura of Malice on the ground. If you put in too many support gems, it will disappear. And if it disappears, it means it's no longer being activated. So make sure you always see that red aura on the ground to ensure that Malice is always operational. Without Malice, the character just doesn't do well in maps. So looking at my passive tree is pretty standard. The first lot of important nodes are these critical chance nodes to ensure that you're going to trigger your unique charm to deal damage. So these two nodes, followed by this node here, which grants spirit and increases presence area of effects. And then you got these ignite nodes here, which increase the magnitude of ignite. This node here, Mind Over Matter, for mitigating damage. You then grab a jewel socket. The jewels you're looking for are increased presence area of effect and increased fire damage and increased magnitude of ignite you afflict. You got some more fire damage nodes here. You then grab Whispers of Doom to run 2 curses as auras. So this character is using Despair and Temple Change as auras. Grab a Wither Away, which is super useful considering that this character has a very high presence radius. These nodes aren't mandatory because you got Mind Over Matter. I have it because of the 15 plus to intelligence. Special Ward. This character doesn't have a really high evasion rating chest, but it's enough to just get a bit of a bonus from it. These nodes here boost your evasion rating and maximum energy shield. You got more critical damage bonus nodes here. Another defense node is Subterfuge Mask, which is +2 evasion rating per 1 maximum energy shield on equipped helmet. So this is about 500 evasion rating on that helmet, plus the 269 energy shield. So the character has 2,563 life, And then with 25% life reserved, it's got 1,922 life and 1,701 energy shield. Defenses, 45% evasion rating, 17% armor. So 17% physical damage reduction plus 5% from the chest. Resistances are quite hard to get. In general, so finding that balance of gear and equipment is quite difficult to do. The character at the moment is in a nice position to build upon and improve. I do feel confident in getting these resistances much higher and also getting my life even higher as well. I'll make some tweaks to a few items, etc. And probably even look at getting some resistance nodes on the tree, like all natural, for example.